Welcome back to another video. In today's episode, I will be removing this cross member here, and then we'll be installing the side plates on the side of the frame, which are down there. And we also need to get these lower control arm brackets welded on. And they'll go for these mounts here. It's another super hot one today here in Indiana, so I didn't film some of this, but I've actually already got the cross member basically out. So what I did was I removed most of the rivets except for these ones on the side and the back, and that's because they are actually part of this cab mount here. So I didn't want to lose these rivets to the cab mount. I have to deal with that. So I just took my plasma cutter and I just zipped this bracket off here. It goes on the side. And then I air hammered off the heads of these rivets and peeled this up. I still got to get all the rivet bodies out. Did it on both sides though. And alright, so all I did was twist it, and now it's out. So I'm going to try and save this bracket. Because these 4 rivet holes should kind of work as like bolt holes for later, and then I'll just take off this side bracket here because I'm not gonna need it, and this can be our trans brace potentially if it's got the right offset, so we'll find out about that later on. But this is what we're working with here. Now this is out of the way, so all I gotta do is clean up this edge here of this bracket, because it needs to be flush or inside the frame rail for when I put those plates on, and they're going to go all the way past this cab mount. This side I did a little better, got a little bit more flush, so should be less grinding. Yeah. Alright, so I got all the plates here painted. They're both sides are coated with that Alumagalv, and if I didn't mention what it is, it's Seymour branded spray galv 16845. It's supposed to be like a weldable primer. And then what I did is I cleaned up the frame, so all that rust and stuff, I got it all off, and then I coated both sides of the frame and the insides of the boxes with the Alumagalv. I've also taken all the powder coat off the edges here, so I might need to do a little bit more prep once I get the plates in untacked, but we're pretty much ready to start tacking these puppies in. So I'm actually going to start with these front plates on both sides, and I'm just going to tack them in place, and then I'll move to the backs and tack those in, and then after that I'm going to just probably stitch weld them in. I don't feel like fully welding them in and grinding them all down. Stitch welding should be strong enough. And since they're coated, I'm not too worried about water ingress and all that. The other thing we need to figure out is fitment here. So there is some gaps and stuff. This frame rail is not exactly perfectly straight and stuff. So I might have to do some hammering, something like that to get these fit. So this is the one side, the passenger side front end now. It's fully tacked. So I'm gonna go ahead off camera and just get all the plates fully tacked in. And then once that's done, I'll start recording again and we can finish doing the string welds. We got all 4 plates tacked in now, as you can see. I did have to get some help on these back ones. They're a bit fiddly, and I didn't spend too much time on, fitting them perfectly. We did use this adjustable wrench here and my jack handle, and had to like bend up or down the edges of the frame rail a bit, but we got them all in there, all tacked up. Now I just got to run some string welds on them. I don't think I'm gonna like fully weld them in. I want to keep as little heat in this frame as possible, or put as little heat in this frame as possible, I mean. And before I get to welding this up, I'm gonna put my jack up underneath the front of this frame. That way, hopefully it won't twist or do anything weird with the heat. So I'm gonna get set up for that, and then we'll get to welding. All the boxes are now welded in. The back ones, I just kind of stitch welded them. I didn't feel like it needed it fully welded all the way around. Keep the heat out of the frame. The fronts I did fully weld in. I definitely got them a little hot. But like I said, I'm not a welder. I'm just trying to get this done and get it done safely. So the welds turned out okay. I definitely could have prepped the actual frame rail a little bit better, because basically what was happening on me was all that powder coat, and I think even the paint I used, the galv, it was just popping on me. Burnt my leg and my arms and everything a little bit. But anyway, all the plates are in. Yeah, so the next step is going to be to locate and weld on these brackets here. Those go for the rear control arm or lower control arm. So they give you a measurement. It's like 46 or something inches back. So probably what I'm going to do is, you also have to either buy or fabricate these rear mounts. As you can see, flush with this face at the bottom right here, the alignment or the tolerance hole, the oval, is not oriented correctly. So what we have to do is we have to take it and turn it and re-weld it back on. And then basically these will go on this right here on the lower control arm and bolt up to this plate. Went ahead and got the paint off and marked out where these brackets need to be. Basically, they're going to weld onto this front edge, or the outside edge, and the bottom edge of the frame, as you can see. So I just took the powder coat off all the way around where it's going to be in contact for welding. I'm going to buzz these on, then I'll get back with you. Just finished welding on the lower control arm brackets here. I'm not going to use that filler piece that goes in between the frame and the bottom of this plate. It just doesn't fit, and based on what I'm seeing, it's going to be strong enough. So we're not putting crazy amounts of power to this thing or anything. Welds are okay. There's something in the metal. I don't know if it's a powder coat. I didn't go down deep enough, but it keeps popping on me. So that wasn't fun, but they turned out all right. This is what it looks like on the inside. One thing I might have to do is waller out these holes. They're really close, as you can see, to the frame rail. I'm not sure why. Maybe it was because I needed to actually put these filler plates here, those things inside the frame rail. I put them like against the frame rail, as you can see. So that would give us a little bit more clearance, but I should be okay just to like waller this out a bit. Here's this side. So turned out pretty good. Before I actually took the subframe out and did all that. I marked it up where I thought it should be based on putting those mounts, the bushings back on the lower control arm, and it was actually pretty close once I measured it. So I just went ahead and welded them on based on the book. I think this is gonna be where I'm gonna cut this video off. It's gonna be nice, short and sweet. I just wanted to finish out basically how to install this kit. And this was kind of the last step, was welding these frame plates in, and then these lower control arm brackets. So if you have any questions on how I did this or anything like that, or if you have any comments on anything I can do better in the future, leave them down below. If you like the content, give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more of this type of stuff, please subscribe. Thanks for watching.